Hey, gun people! This is a good propaganda piece, and it makes some good points, and the points are valid. It's just too bad it promotes the NRA. Most people know me, know I'm not a fan of the NRA. They voted for background checks. They voted for bump stock ban. They always fold, and they don't ever push back as far as I'm concerned. They take a lot of money. The president has been ripping them off. Stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to go over why I'm so critical of the president, and I'm going to show you some stats that should make every one of you pissed off and not give a penny to the NRA until they get rid of this president. But let's watch this video because this woman does a good job.
As a breast cancer survivor who is disabled, I am one of the millions of Americans who is vulnerable to the deadly coronavirus. I hope I survive the coronavirus. That's up to God. What's in my control is how I defend myself if things go from bad to worse. You might be wondering why I'm holding this. I know from history how quickly society breaks down during a crisis, and we've never faced anything like this before. And never is the Second Amendment more important than during public unrest. It's no surprise why sales of guns and ammunition have skyrocketed. Even liberals in California are lining up because they know the government will not be able to protect them. My name is Carletta Whiting. Here's something for you to think about.
She is making some great points that I have said and other people who said that understand the Second Amendment and how important it is not to wait for a crisis to try and arm yourself. You should always be prepared to defend yourself, even in good times. Unfortunately, a lot of people just can't connect the dots.
You might be stockpiling up on food right now to get through this current crisis, but if you aren't preparing to defend your property when everything goes wrong, you're really just stockpiling for somebody else. You may not have heard of what happened during Hurricane Katrina, but police actually went door to door, stripping our society's most vulnerable people of their guns, which was their only means to protect themselves. It would be foolish to assume it couldn't happen here. It already has. What's happening today feels eerily similar. In Champaign, Illinois, the mayor has assumed the power to ban gun transfers.
Not only in Illinois did they ban it, but I've gotten several comments, and I don't know if it's true yet. I called Buck. He must be busy. I haven't heard back from him. People around here are saying the ATF and the feds have stopped doing backgrounds. When you call in to get your background check, they've stopped doing them till April 15th. Now, that's basically gun control, people. They make gun stores require to call them, and then they shut down and say, we're not taking phone calls. I mean, that's the problem with all these crazy gun laws. So I know people are commenting that they can't buy a gun because they can't run their background, and FFLs aren't selling to them. Now in Texas, if you got a concealed permit, you don't need a background check because you've already had one. So you just show your CHL and they can sell to you. But without that CHL, you ain't buying a gun. If the federal government goes, we're not answering the phone and we're not running backgrounds, tough luck. And I think that's what's going on. I've heard it from a few people. I've not confirmed it yet.
Citing the coronavirus pandemic. In New Orleans, the mayor has issued an emergency order allowing her to ban the sale and transportation of firearms. Thankfully, after Hurricane Katrina, my brothers and sisters at the NRA fought back, passing legislation and ensuring our firearms cannot be confiscated during state of emergencies.
First of all, the NRA doesn't pass legislation. They may have a lobbyist, and they may pay people off, and they may hold things over their head that they have a lot of members, and they may use their members to do something every once in a while. But in one hand, they may be doing the right thing, and the other hand, they're stealing left and right of your money, and you'll see that by the stats I'm going to give you at the end of this video.
And make no mistake, anti-gun politicians will seek to use the current pandemic to enact strict gun control measures in the name of safety Taking guns out of the hands of law-abiding Americans doesn't make anyone more safe. It puts everyone, especially vulnerable like me, at risk. And these are the same politicians who ask me why I need an assault weapon.
To gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo. You're right if you have an assault weapon.
Not that I need a reason in America, but I'm disabled and I literally need this firearm for the 3 points of contact to defend my home and family.
So, having a firearm is the best equalizer for a victim. Crooks don't like it when they have to deal with armed victims. Cops don't like it when they have to deal with armed citizens. The government doesn't like it when they have to deal with armed citizens. We call that a clue. The gun is the greatest equalizer. That's why it's called a freedom stick, because those who have it have freedom.
Back in 2015, my life was shattered when I fell victim to domestic violence. I thought I would never feel safe again. It was this firearm that gave me my life back. Unlike the elites who look down on gun owners, I don't have the luxury of living in an affluent neighborhood with private security. In my neighborhood, crime and violence is part of everyday life. Without my firearm, I'm defenseless. To those mayors looking to strip their constituents of their gun rights, I have one question for you. Do you really wish to leave someone like me, a disabled woman, completely unable to defend myself during one of the most uncertain times of our lives?
I'll answer that for you. They don't give a crap about you. All that woman and black and disabled and we love and you're a cancer survivor and we love you and we care. Liberals don't care about that. They want the guns because guns equal control and control equals power. Very simple.
Speaking on behalf of 5 million NRA members, not on our watch. As Wayne LaPierre says,
that's the guy that where this video went straight downhill. They're quoting him, the most unethical president of the NRA that I've ever seen.
That in a dangerous world, the Second Amendment is often all we have.
My name is Carletta Whiting, and I am a proud member of the National Rifle Association.
Okay, so let's take a look at Mr. Pierre. I think whoever did this video did a great job. They covered a lot of checkpoints. Woman, disabled, breast cancer survivor, domestic violence victim. I mean, you just can't get more check marks for appealing to the left so they can't attack it. But they'll discount it. I mean, they don't care. When they see a gun, they don't care even if you don't see a gun. They're going to tell you what they knew to get your vote. Let's take a look at Mr. Pierre. So this is from 2014. Mr. Pierre, the total NRA contributions was $95 million. That's all those harassing phone calls, 14 letters, you get a free magazine, and they harass the hell out of you every 2 minutes trying to get more money from you. In that year, Mr. LaPierre had $3.7 million deferred compensation distributed employee-funded deferred comp. His total compensation was $5 million. So we gave $95 million to help gun laws, and Pierre just took off $5 million. And he took off a lot more than that because he flies around in a private jet. So he's been stealing and ripping off the NRA for 28 years. 28 years of doing nothing but flying around a private jet, making millions, getting $600 in suits, or I think it was $600,000 in a clothing allowance. He's only been working for the NRA for 28 years, and his net worth is about $10 million bucks. They can't confirm it because he won't say. That's a shocker. He travels by private plane, paid for by the NRA, by your tax dollars, for security reasons. If he's an NRA member, he ought to be armed. And if he's armed, he shouldn't have security reasons. That's the whole purpose of the Second Amendment. Good grief. He was criticized, and this is when Ollie Norris ratted him out for spending $275,000 on at a men's clothing. This is just one boutique. His compensation for 1 year, I think last year, was $600,000 for a clothing allowance. Absolutely outrageous. Hell, I'll just take a picture holding a gun, and all you stupid gun supporters that keep sending NRA money will think I'm for you. Wow, he's got a gun. Wow, he must be for us. $5 million pay increase. Are you kidding me? And then, not that that's not enough money, he gets a $150,000 bonus. Meanwhile, they're bugging the hell out of you people out there working hard, sending your hard-earned money, even if it's 10, 20 bucks. That takes food or something out of your life, and he's running around with a $150,000 bonus. Every time you send him money, you ought to think about this. He is the 8th highest paid nonprofit executive in the country. The 2nd highest paid outside of the medical professions. Yeah, he's really helping you out, people. Believe that. There's a picture of the NRA headquarters. Wow. Wonder how much that building costs. Is it just me, or does this look like a hand with a finger? That's just me. That's probably to all you idiots giving him money. Oh, for his safety, he has to have a private plane. Oh, ain't that nice? We got to protect him. He can't carry a gun himself. He don't even wear a gun. Running around with his $600,000 suit on. He's looking for a house that was priced at $6.2 million. How many of you people got a home that costs even $1 million? Well, don't worry. Your NRA president out there working hard for you is looking to buy another home for $6.2 million. And just on one little trip, after the Sandy Hook shooting, he spent $70,000 to fly around the Bahamas. In his private jet, for security reasons, of course. Man, I'm telling you, man, the NRA don't get a penny from me, and I know a lot of you guys love them and hate me for talking about them, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to be a stooge and fund Pierre's little living on the high hog. If y'all don't remember, they forced Ollie North out because he was calling little LaPierre, LaPierre. He was calling him out for spending all that money and wasting all the money, and he thought it was wrong, so they ran him out. And last but not least, under his great leadership for 28 years, the NRA is living paycheck to paycheck. Doesn't look like he's living paycheck to paycheck. All right, good video. Too bad it's led by a crook, in my opinion. Well, isn't that there?